afternoon. Please sit down.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Sir Harsh Parashar.
Okay. So, Mr. Harsh, kindly tell us something about yourself.
Sir, my name is Harsh, which means delight in Hindi.
Which means?
Delight.
Okay.
I come from a small town called Katihar in Bihar. My father is a professor of Hindi literature. I did my schooling from Katihar only, up till 12th. Afterwards, I did my graduation in electronics and electrical communication engineering from IIT Kharagpur. Afterwards, I joined through campus placements one of the MNCs where I worked as a data scientist for 2 years.
Which MNC was this?
Sir, Deloitte Consulting USI.
Okay.
Sir, in 2019, I shifted to working in a startup called Zivanta Consulting, and I've been working there for a little less than 2 years now.
So, where are you working now?
Sir, out of Gurgaon.
Gurgaon.
Yes, sir.
Which company is this?
So, Zivanta Consulting.
But here it says
Zivanta Analytics.
Calcutta.
Yes, sir. The head office of Zivanta Consulting is in Calcutta.
So, even now you are working there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, what do you do there actually?
So, my job profile is that of a data scientist. Data scientist.
Okay.
My usual task is to process clients' data and to derive meaningful insights from it.
But this data is about what?
Sir, it could be related to the how client is functioning. For example, the latest project on which I am working on, it relates to the financial data of the clients, of the customers of the client.
Now, is it first time you are going for interview?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Can you tell me the details of the drone attack yesterday that happened in Jammu and Kashmir?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, it is the first time that India has experienced an attack of this kind, where an unmanned aerial vehicle was used to attack on the Indian Air Force base in Jammu. No casualties have been reported, but it could have been a bigger problem if the IEDs, which were dropped, were done on the helicopter base. But they were done a little away from the helicopter base, which saved us a big trouble.
Okay, but this is a fact. But what is your opinion now?
So my opinion is RPAS guidelines were issued 2 or 3 years back, and this has been anticipated for at least 2 to 3 years. RPAS are remotely piloted aerial systems. The problem, and this particularly happened in Jammu, which happens to be one of the most sensitive areas when it comes to terrorism, and Pakistan has been using aerial vehicles for narco-terrorism for so long. So there are security lapses which could have been avoided.
How were the security lapses? Tell me.
Sir, the UAVs which were used, they were of a short range, which means that the people who were piloting them, they must have been in the vicinity of the Air Force base itself. So what is needed is to secure the perimeter of the Air Force base and the nearby areas as well.
Perimeter. You mean it has been just sent from the perimeter itself?
No, sir, outside the perimeter, but close to the perimeter.
How do you say that? These drones, how much distance they can fly? Any idea?
Sir, I do not have the exact specifications, but there are.
So you are presuming as if somebody came to the perimeter and sent the drone.
Sir, it was reported in the newspaper that the drones were.
Drones do travel a few kilometers, is it not?
So there are beyond visual line of sight drones, but the ones which have been used, they had to be within a small range of the person who was
small
using
range
them.
Would be in what?
Sir, I think
at least a kilometer.
1 to 2 kilometers.
Then,
yes.
So 1 to 2 kilometers from perimeter is quite a distance.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What other security lapse was there?
Sir, the aerial systems which usually tend to fly, there are either whirring noises because of these are quadruptors. So they have a number of 4 or 5 small fans which tend to keep rotating. So there are whirring noises which emanate from these UAVs.
So
there could have been ways to detect these.
How? Which ways could have been there?
So sound systems and a number of those smart surveillance systems that can detect any such movements.
How can you fix those systems? Tell me now. Suddenly you can fix those systems, those sound systems that way, and they even radar naturally could not have anticipated that. Anyway, let's move to something else.
Yes, sir.
Tell me the latest in Euro 20. What is happening there? You know Euro 20?
No, sir.
There is a football tournament going on in Europe.
Sir, I do not follow football.
You do not follow, but it is a very important current event.
Yes, sir.
You are expected to know that. Anyway, let's go back to something else. Do tell me that after Second World War, the world was designed in a certain way, with so many institutions of different kinds having come up. Do you think that it's time to redesign the world? You get me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell me.
So the power dynamics that existed after the Second World War ended, a lot of things have happened since then. The immediate superpowers which came into vogue were US and USSR. But with the collapse of USSR in 1991, the main change has been the rise of from unipolar world to a multipolar world.
Okay.
And most of our international institutions that exist, they tend to reflect the power dynamics that existed in the post-World War II era. The most notable of these is the United Nations Security Council, which still have P5 that exercise the veto power.
Okay. What else? Give me bullet points then.
So the second change that has come into vogue is the creation of trading treaties. There are two major global supply chains. The one of them is TPP, Trans-Pacific Partnership, and the second one, which has been created now, RCEP. What this has caused, the post-World War II consensus was designed in the Bretton Woods conference, was there should be no barriers when it comes to world trade. But these groupings and even smaller groupings like ASEAN,
Okay.
they have
What
tended
else? Okay. Give me points. Yeah. Anything else you want to say?
Yes, sir. So environment at that point climate change and terrorism at that point were not significant issues, but now these have arisen as global common problems, which means that these have to be tackled globally. The existing institutions to tackle these.
Don't explain as I think I'm telling you. Just tell me bullet points.
Yes, sir. The next would be border.
When you finish, then tell me how to redesign the world then.
Yes, sir. So the next will be technological divisions. The way that technology transpires across borders, the movement of data and technology both. The next will be the division of global natural resources, which would include, say, the polymetallic nodules that exist on the sea floors. And lastly would be the border divisions that were artificially created by the countries after World War II and how they have changed after in the last, say, 20 years.
Okay.
Now, redesigning the world, the basic principle that has to be accepted across all these problems, one common thread will be the idea of building a consensus among the developed countries, developing countries, and least developed countries. The post-World War II international structure focused entirely on how the big countries want the world to be it Bretton Woods or all other institutions, including UN Security Council. The new system has to be more based in a more diverse group of countries that can take into account the multiple challenges. For example, including G20. G20 is a more diverse group than the P5. The second treatment has to be...
Give me bullet points, because this question then will take entire time. It's almost,
Yes,
my
sir.
time is getting over. I have to ask you something more also.
Yes, sir.
Give me bullet points. I told you 3 times. Yeah.
So multipolarity, the principle should be multipolarity. Second should be recognition of the common interests and solution of these through dialogues.
Okay, tell me, my last question is that supposing you're selected and posted to a district and you go to the poorest village in your jurisdiction, let us say Katihar, if that is there, and when you go to the village, you find there's nothing in the village, people are very poor, they have no employment, no house, no school, no health facility, no food, no roads, no electricity, no water, nothing at all.
Okay, sir.
Tell me 4 things you will do on priority and under which scheme.
And under which scheme? Government schemes.
4 things that you will do on priority, starting with number 1 priority, and under which scheme.
So if you'll give me a few seconds. So my first priority will be to ensure the short-term generation of employment through whatever resources possible.
Okay.
Second would be the creation of hard infrastructure, which will include, say, roads, electricity, water. The third will be the creation of social infrastructure, but most notably education, because there are no schools. And my fourth priority will be to take women-related measures.
And under which schemes you will do all this?
Yes, sir. The first scheme of employment generation will be under PM Narega. The first will be under Startup India to create small level employments through venture funds. Second, the hard infrastructure can be created under Manrega, which will be through government funds. Third, for education, the Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan, which has now been rechristened. And for fourth, which is women-related measures, the ASHA and A&M workers.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Harsh. Tell me, you have been working in as a business analyst in Deloitte,
Yes, sir.
where you are getting more than 1 lakh rupees
Yes,
as
sir.
salary. Now you shifted to Jivanta Analytics,
Yes, sir.
where you are getting quite less amount. Why it is so?
Sir, the amount was actually halved. The reason was I wanted to work in a startup because of the startup feel, the idea that has been built around work culture in a startup. The work that I was getting, the profile in which I was working was increased many folds, but the salary was halved because that's what they could afford the most. Startup usually have a lesser fund, they usually have fund crunches. So this was the best I was
So
offered.
what was the attraction in the startup? What did you gain or what you intended to gain?
Sir, in Deloitte, I was at the bottom of the food chain, as I call it. But in startup, the hierarchy was almost flat. The entire team members, be they interns or the CEO, there are usually daily calls, and everybody pitches their ideas on whatever fronts that there are necessary.
What was this startup about?
So it is an IT consulting firm.
IT?
IT consulting. It provides services on information technology, which could relate to, say, app development or website development or digital marketing for the clients.
Okay, so you sacrificed in monetary terms, but you gained in terms of some experience or what?
Yes, sir. Experience as well as the exposure to how things are done at a higher scale. The money for me was not a big factor because my requirements are very less. Even what I'm getting now, I spend less than that.
Okay. You are in Delhi?
So Gurgaon.
Gurgaon. Gurgaon is a place where you can spend a lot of money.
Yes, sir, but I do not have the habit. The only indulgence that I have is reading books, but they tend to be quite cheap. So,
Quite good. Tell me, imagine yourself, you are a member of a team which is managing COVID-19 at national level,
yes, sir.
where the Prime Minister is chairman and all that kind of thing. and you are not as an officer but as a sociologist. You are optionally sociology.
Yes, sir.
So imagine that right in the beginning itself you are there, and before the first wave, before the climax of the first wave.
Yes, sir.
So now some management has been done. Now management is going on, in fact, first wave, second wave and all that. So what kind of changes you could have suggested as a sociologist? Because presently there is no sociologist there for advising Prime Minister. It's only economist. So tell me what you could have contributed there.
So sociology is about structures, institutions, and processes. And the main structures that I see being affected by COVID, they were the urban economy as well as the rural economy. Now, as a sociologist, it's important to consider the social aspects of the economy that will be managed. The GDP decrement for me would, the more important factor would be the impact that small scale workers and laborers would have. The second.
Tell me the suggestion which you will give there. You told that it is sociology about structure and then
institutions and processes.
And
processes.
Processes. Can you give some example of it?
So reverse migration would be the first consideration which would come to my mind, because these people and the suggestions that I would give there would be to ensure that there are systems in place which can take care of the migrant workers who are living under precarious conditions.
That is one. Anything else?
The second would be sociology is about seeing. It's about seeing how the biographies of people are changing. So the family structure which will be impacted, the impact of mainly on students. So my second suggestion would be that those students who used to go to school, now that they will be studying at their places, my suggestion would be the playground should be opened to limited number of children at specific intervals of time, but to ensure that there are certain outgoing areas they can work on. And third area would be on women-specific issues, because COVID would result in an increase of domestic violence as well as the reduction in incomes of the women. So my suggestion would be to focus on giving, say, transferring of the direct benefit transfers into the accounts of women rather than men.
Why this domestic violence has increased? What can be the reason? Because of COVID?
Sir, the general stress levels among people is already high, number one. This can...
In fact, people should have been happy. Now they don't have to go outside, they can enjoy at home.
Sir, if they were getting free money, free food, free medicine, they would be happy. But when there is job loss associated and a lack of confinement in their own homes, that becomes a problem, especially for lower income groups, women.
Or is it that the anger which was against the government is being transferred against the spouse?
Sir, it could be a very possible factor.
What you would have done to stop it? What suggestion you would have done?
Sir, whenever somebody is in power, the tendency of violence towards them decreases. So it is important to empower the women, which can be done in this case would be through transfer of money into the accounts of women. The Jan Dhan Yojana accounts that were opened, the money could be transferred into their accounts rather than men, wherever there are this.
So now it was transferred to the men account?
Sir, it was transferred equally. Whenever there is a family as a unit involved, the transfer was done to men.
But if you transfer only to men, then there will be more fight just to get it back. Men will try to get it from the women, and then she will refuse, and then there will be fight.
So, but in that case, at least they will have a say on how that money is spent, because the money is in their account. Compare that with the situation that is now, where their opinion is not even necessary to be taken.
Okay. Any other point you will suggest?
Sir, I see elderlies facing a bigger trouble because when money crunch appears, the first to be impacted are those without resources. So the government pension schemes which are meant for elderly.
Okay, good. We'll go to the next.
Yes, sir.
Your hobby is that learning psychological theories.
Sir, I think you must have gotten an earlier version of the DAF.
You mean
Sir,
Which is
my-
the latest hobby?
So my hobbies which I have mentioned in my DAF are algorithmic coding and reading inspirational Hindi poetry.
In special reading, poetry, and first
Algorithmic coding.
I could not get.
So algorithmic coding. Coding is
Algorithmic.
coding is
Coding,
related to
coding.
computers, and algorithms is
Okay.
the number of steps taken to do that.
Okay, so you have deleted this hobby.
Yes, sir.
Hobby remains a hobby is a interest. How can you change your interest like this?
Sir, hobbies. So what I planned to do was showcase the best aspects of myself, best cases
And
of
you
my
have good thing
personality.
that you have done it. That's good.
Thank you,
Because
sir.
you should minimize hobbies actually while recording it. If possible, true hobby you should put. Otherwise, you should put not more than one.
Yes.
That is better way. Anyhow, this time you put two again. So about poetry, you are writing poetry or what?
Sir, I'm not qualified enough to write good poetry, so I only read poetry.
Is there any qualification for poets?
Sir, it should be. There is no specific qualification, but the quality of poetry suffers if the quality of poet is not good.
No, but it is something like that. I will not enter the water unless and until I learn swimming.
Yes, sir.
So this logic is very difficult to digest.
Sir, a good poet is somebody who is a good thinker and who expresses himself in that in an equally good manner. I'm a good thinker, but
So can you recite the 4 or 5 lines of a poem which you like the most?
Yes, sir. Sir, I find this poem "Nar ho na nirash karo man ko" by Maithili Sharan Gupta to be very inspiring. काम करो कुछ काम करो, जग में रहकर कुछ नाम करो, यह जन्म हुआ किस अर्थ अहो, समझो जिसमें यह व्यर्थ न हो, कुछ तो उपयुक्त करो तन को, न रहो न निराश करो मन को, समझो कि सुयोग न जाए चला, समझो कि सुयोग न जाए चला, कब व्यर्थ हुआ सदुपाय भला, समझो न जग को निरा सपना, पथ आप प्रशस्त करो अपना, अखिलेश्वर हैं अवलंबन को, न रहो न निराश करो मन को.
Good. That is okay. But what is the meaning of this poem?
Sir,
That you do keep on doing something. Don't waste time, isn't it?
Sir, it is about na raho na nirash karo man ko. Don't be disheartened. If what you are doing and that does not come into fruition, do not dishearten yourself.
Okay.
It does not mean that you should randomly keep on doing things.
But do we voluntarily dishearten ourselves?
Sir, but it is in our volition to control that disheartenment.
What is the method suggested?
Sir, one thing would be to realize that there is something called Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. This is a very pessimistic view, but the best part of this is you are always aware of what things can go wrong and how things are better compared to the worst possible scenario.
Good. There is something like in J&K some interesting things are happening,
Yes, sir.
and most important thing which happened, or is, you can say watershed change which happened, was 5th August 2019.
Yes, sir.
You know that.
Yes, sir.
So J&K was not only 370 was withdrawn, but there was statehood was also withdrawn. 370 we can understand because it was in the manifesto of the ruling party. But what was the purpose of withdrawing this statehood?
Sir, when Jammu Kashmir was being created, certain factors were taken into account, but the main idea was whatever J&K was at the point of independence became the state of J&K.
No, forget that thing. I am asking what was the idea behind withdrawal of a statehood status?
Sir, because the union territories are under more direct control of the central government. It was envisaged that for us this was supposed to be a short-term disruption, and that under the direct control of central government, the peace and stability that was needed for this transition to be smooth could be made more easily in comparison to the state governments.
I'll give an alternate reason.
Yes, sir.
and then you tell me whether that is correct or what you said is correct.
Yes, sir.
Alternate reason is that it was the statehood was withdrawn because when it comes to later on negotiations, so at least some concession has to be given, so we'll give the statehood. By 370 we are not giving. The statehood can be given at that time, just as a bargaining point. How solid is this argument?
So the idea that two steps were taken back so that one step can be taken forward ahead. Sir, I think there are, this point that statehood will be restored back was always on the plate, even when this, even when it was, the J&K Reorganization Act was
No,
being
I am only
introduced in the
asking
Lok
one
Sabha.
argument you gave and one argument I gave. Which one do you think is a more plausible argument?
So from a pragmatic point of view, your point makes a very good sense. But from what I feel,
Okay, tell me, what were the objectives, main objectives, two important objectives while doing this decision of removing 370 and
so number one was the border security of Jammu Kashmir with, which it shares with Pakistan, and the second was complete integration of Jammu Kashmir with the rest of India.
No, you are wrong. Kashmir is already integrated with India. Stated objective or development of the Jammu and Kashmir will increase. It will be fastened.
Yes, sir.
And second was control of terrorism. Now you tell me whether these two have been achieved in the last 2 years.
Sir, these two objectives were not for a very short-term disruption because every big step is associated with a small time of disruption.
No, I am
These
asking
were-
whether they are achieved or not. The question is that much. Answer to that is yes or no. And
No, sir.
then explaining why yes, why no.
No, sir.
Not achieved.
No, sir.
What can be the reason?
So the idea of better economic development was disrupted in a big portion due to COVID because new industries could not have
Okay,
been set up.
second one.
The second was control of terrorism, but what has been said about this is the enforced silence upon the state might result into a bigger disruption when all those things were taken
Whether
back.
terrorism got controlled or not.
So terrorism got controlled in the number of spate of violence, but
No, it was not controlled. And but February 2021, after that terrorism has reduced. What happened in February?
sir,
No idea.
I'm not sure
Okay,
what
thank you.
exactly happened.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Harsh Parashar,
Yes, sir.
you studied electrical communication engineering.
Yes, sir. Electronics and electrical communication.
Electronics and electrical communications engineering. What is electrical communications training?
Sir, it's a naming.
Engineering.
So it's a naming convention that has been carried forward. Almost all the communication when it comes to ECE department is electrical communication only. In my case, electrical communication could be both analog communication as well as digital communication.
Basically communication.
Yes, sir. It's more about the transmission of signal processing over distances and network and systems.
Or technical communication.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you are also into algorithms.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, how do you promote a website, a new website, which nobody knows of, but has content that is good?
Sir, how to provoke or protect?
Promote
a new
website
Yes, sir.
which has good content, but nobody knows about it.
Sir, there is something called search engine optimization. This is a tool that is used to diagnose how good a website is in terms of content, in terms of what people are looking for it. One way would be to do digital marketing, which we have been doing for quite some time. This is essentially about advertising the good aspects of your website in front of the masses who are visiting other websites.
That means you advertise in Google.
Yes,
Is there
sir.
any other platform?
Yes, sir.
Like what?
Facebook provides similar similar kind of advertising. Then WordPress is the third, and there are a number of other aggregate places where such advertisements can be bought.
But then they would charge money,
All of them.
all of them. So for a startup, it will be very difficult to engage with these expensive
So
sites.
this is just one tool in the complete arsenal. One way, which I mentioned as paid programs, then there are non-paid programs as well, which Google offers through its analytics platform. What it does is, whenever certain searches are made for certain tools, such as say credit counseling in my case, whenever these searches are made, it tries to find out how well aligned your website when it comes to credit counseling. So on the basis of what other people have reviewed, this becomes a non-paid promotion. The third way would be to reach out to social media influencers, which has now become a big market on, say, Instagram, through influencer marketing. What it does is a small amount of money is paid to these influencers, or it can be done on a pro bono basis. And these influencers tend to propagate that particular website through their own followers network.
Okay. Foreign service is your first option.
Yes, sir.
Why is that?
Sir, based on my self-assessment, I felt that my attitude and aptitude is well suited for foreign services. I take a lot of interest in geopolitics and international relations and how things happen at the international level.
Have you followed the G7?
Yes, sir. The recent G7 summit that was done.
What do you understand by B3W? This is one of the partnership plans of major democracies.
Yes, sir.
B3W. It was the main theme of the G7.
Yes, sir. I'm thinking of the full form that I have followed it, but just give me a second.
No, take your time. Build Back Better World.
Build Back Better World. Yes, sir.
Build Back Better World Partnership.
Yes,
What is
sir.
it?
Sir, it is a program that has been proposed as an alternative to the Belt and Road Initiative of China to promote better infrastructure building throughout the world, mostly after the COVID pandemic disruptions.
Do you think it's an adequate response to the BRI? I'm saying this because in BRI, China there are about 100 countries that have accepted BRI, and there are 2,600 projects under the BRI. And China has committed $4.5 trillion till the mid-20s, whereas the B3W is still in a stage we know very little about it.
Yes, sir. And in fact, this is the second tool that has come into vogue. The first one was Blue Dot Network, although there was no funding involved there. Now, between the comparisons, there are many positive aspects of B3W have to be considered as well.
I think, can it compare with the BRI? Is it an adequate response considering the amount of money China has already?
So in terms of scale, no. But in terms of the positive response.
Why do you say in terms of scales, no? Do you know? Do you know how much money will they be putting into the B3W?
Sir, I'm not aware of the exact numbers.
So how can you compare?
Sir, because comparing it to the trend that has been seen as to create something as a response to BRI, even in.
What are the areas that they will focus on, B3W?
Sir, I do not have the exact details, so I'll if you want me to make a guess.
No, there's no need to guess. It's basically health, digital, gender equality. There's one more. There are 4 basic areas. Whereas the BRI is massive infrastructure.
Yes, sir.
It will have more impact, better impact. It will help China to take over those smaller countries who get into debt. But you're not aware of these things.
Sir, I have followed lately. What
is the infrastructure gap in developing countries that the B3W has identified? And their aim is to narrow this development infrastructure gap.
Sir, I have to follow up on exact detail. Yes, sir. Will do, sir.
So, as an aspirant of the understand this very recently.
Yes, sir, I know.
Okay. Now, data, my last question.
Yes, sir.
Now, data is now become a very important. Only, sir, my So, data. What are the opportunities that data presents? There are certain obvious opportunities. But tell me the bigger opportunities.
Sir, in terms of what government can do with data, the biggest opportunity is to increase the public utility to identify wherever there are critical gaps. Number two, data monetization can help shore up government revenues. Number three, the
Data monetization is being done by these big companies, not
Yes.
by the government. Government is not monetizing it.
So the Vahan data platform, the Vahan platform
What is
data
that?
was. Sorry, sir.
What is that?
So Vahan was the data that was that is captured for new vehicles that are registered in India by Ministry of RTH. So that data was monetized, and in fact, even in the economic survey of 2019-20, it was suggested that government data lies across different silos, and there is a need to integrate that data and then to monetize whatever can be monetized without
What are the areas
compromising with
which are the areas where data can be misused? I'm looking at big time.
So
information
misuse of
coming.
data.
Huh? Misuse of data.
Acha. Sir, I misunderstood the question. I thought it was use of data.
Yeah, I know, I can understand. So therefore, this is a counter question. Now you understand the content
Yes, sir.
of the
So
question. Now tell me.
So misuse of data, for example, what we have seen in Cambridge Analytica case will be to,
That's gone, that's history now.
yes,
We're
sir.
talking the latest.
The forced marketing of data which has been using
Is
data
that a
which has been-
misuse? Is that really a misuse? They're just helping the user to identify their choices.
So, but without their consent, the use of that data would become a misuse because it hampers with the privacy that these people put into the trust they put before agreeing to share that data.
Okay, let's talk about data security.
Yes, sir.
Tell us something about it.
Sir, India is the third most vulnerable country when it comes to cyber security risks, and this was according to Symantec. But the Indian government has taken a number of positive steps to ensure that data security in India is maintained. The most important of that is the creation of CERT-In, which is the nodal agency to prevent compromising of data. The second is NCIIPC, which is for critical information infrastructure, to ensure that the government can monitor.
There is a threat of a possible nuclear confrontation as a result of cyber threats to nuclear installations.
So,
Is this real or is this just academic?
So sorry, sir, can you?
Is this real? Is this a real threat?
Sir, I do not believe that to be a real threat because the cost in both the cases are very, very different. In cyber threat, the cost of entry into another territory is very less. The extent of damage is moderate. But in case of a nuclear war between two powers, the cost of entry is very high, as well as the destruction that will happen will be complete.
You haven't understood the question, but we'll come back to it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Well, Mr. Parashar,
Yes, sir.
you were talking just now about the BRI.
Yes, sir.
Now, the term BRO has been very much in the news today. What do you understand by BRO and why is it in the news today? BRO.
So, are you referring to Border Roads Organization?
Yes, indeed. Why is it in the news today?
Sir, I think this has been due to the large-scale movement of around 50,000 Indian troops towards the Indo-China border. Is it related to?
Also, there is a major news relating to our Minister of Defence, and how does the BRO connect to him in the context of developments today? I am trying to see whether you follow news.
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the news broadcast today on radio, television?
Sir, I took a rough glance at the newspaper.
The
So
Defence Minister today
has visited Ladakh.
inaugurated some bridges which have been constructed by the BRO. How many bridges were virtually inaugurated by him? How many?
Sir, I'm aware that they have been inaugurated in Ladakh, but I do not have the exact.
They have been inaugurating what?
in Ladakh.
In Ladakh. Now, today, big news item. The Raksha Mantri inaugurated 63 bridges constructed by. It's a big news item because it's all in the border areas where it will increase connectivity for our troops and it will increase connectivity for the people living. That's a very big news item. So, do you follow news events on a day-to-day basis?
Yes, sir.
What can you tell me? You were talking just now about the G7. What can you tell me about the G20 summit?
So the G20 summit is proposed to be held, but I do not have the details.
You do not have the details. You have no idea where, when.
No, sir, unfortunately not.
Can you tell me something about the G20 foreign ministers meeting?
No, sir. Sorry.
Starting when? Today. And who would be attending the G20 foreign ministers meeting from the Indian side?
Sir, it should be Indian foreign minister, but I do
But
not
you're
have the
not
details.
sure.
No, sir. So, like I said, I've not followed.
How
this
can you be an aspirant for the foreign service and not following matters relating to Indian foreign policy? How do you explain this contradiction?
Sir, I'll follow up on the details. But the
When? Okay. What can you tell me about the FATF decision relating to Pakistan, which was taken last week?
Sir, FATF had put Pakistan into the grey list.
When did it put Pakistan in the grey list?
Sir, I think in 2019.
No, you're wrong. 2018. First, it had been put in 2008, but it came out. Now it was put in 2018, and the last week meeting of FATF, what decision did it take?
Sir, I'm sorry.
You don't know. You haven't followed that. Oh, okay. Let us look at your DAF, which I'm sure you would have followed.
Yes, sir.
You're a very bright student. You got 10 out of 10 in grade 10. You did very well in your subsequent exams also. Where is the Scottish public school situated?
Sir, in my hometown, Katihar.
In Bihar.
Yes, sir.
Now, I find that in your choice of cadre preferences, you have said Bihar is not your preference.
Sir,
You said no.
sir, I've updated the cadre preferences as well. You have a copy of an old DAF. My first cadre preference now is my home cadre.
Is your home cadre? Because
Yes, sir.
what is with me is here saying Bihar is not. It's a categorical no from you.
Sir, there has been a fudge because the new, I probably have not sent them the latest DAF, but in my latest DAF, my home cadre is my first cadre preference.
All right. Then also what interests me is that you studied at the Indian Institute of Technology in Kharagpur.
Yes, sir.
When is Technology Day observed in India and why?
Sir, I do not know.
You don't know. You studied Sanskrit in school.
Yes, sir.
Can you recite one shlok from Sanskrit?
Yes, sir. कर्मण्येवाधिकारास्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफल हेतुर्भुर्मोते संगो अस्तो अकर्मणि.
Okay. How would you translate this sentence into Sanskrit? That a king is worshipped only is in his own kingdom, but a Vidwan is worshipped everywhere.
Sir, I have heard this in fact. The second part goes as Vidwan Sarvatra Pujyate,
But before that,
and the first part will be
Swadeshe Pujyate
Swadeshe
Raja.
Pujyate
Do you
Raja.
want to be a Raja or a Vidwan?
Sir, Vidwan, of course.
Do you think that you will be a Vidwan if you join the administrative service or the foreign service?
Sir, I do not want to be a Raja for sure, and a philosopher king or a philosopher administrator would be a best administrator. This is said by Plato as well as
All right, now
Guru Nanak.
talking of Plato, when did our foreign minister visit Greece last? Plato was from Greece.
yes, sir. Sir, I do not.
He is now. He was visiting till yesterday. That's why you are not following current affairs at all. And you are an aspirant for the foreign service and you don't follow India's foreign affairs ministers' meetings. Now tell me, Harsh, why does India have an embassy in Washington, an embassy in Paris, an embassy in Moscow, an embassy in Beijing, but a high commission in Sri Lanka?
Sir, high commissions are established at those places which are part of the Commonwealth. It is a colonial legacy that in the nomenclature that has been followed.
All right. So high commissions are established in countries which are also Commonwealth countries. Now at the UN we have the permanent mission.
Yes, sir.
Who is the UN Secretary General?
Antonio Guterres.
And how many organs are there in the United Nations?
Sir, there are 6 main organs, but there are 14 affiliated agencies.
Can you name 3 agencies?
Yes, sir. World Health Organization, Food and Agricultural Organization, and UNESCO, which is United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization.
Well, very good. My last question to you. What is your opinion regarding the issue of whether coronavirus was man-made or not?
So there has been a lot of speculation regarding this, and there has been no conclusive proof whether coronavirus was manufactured in any of the laboratories as a bioweapon or not. So the official version of WHO is what I would like to stick to, and that is that coronavirus was a result of, was already existed in the environment when it came into contact with human beings in a wet market of Wuhan in China.
Is that the final view of the WHO?
Sir, recently there has been a number of steps taken by the a commission that has been created by WHO to interrogate this more thoroughly, investigate this more
That
thoroughly.
means that the WHO has not taken a final view.
Yes, sir. This is the present view.
Who's the Director General of WHO? Thank you.
Sir, sir, if I can,
Okay.
sir, Soumya Swaminathan is one of the leading members.
I'm not asking about Soumya Swaminathan. I'm asking about the Director General of that. She is the Chief Scientist.
Chief scientist.
But the Director General is somebody else.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir, I don't know.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Harsh, our discussion with you is over.
Thank you,
Kindly
sir.
wait for a few minutes outside. We'll call you for feedback.
Thank you, sir.